Hello everybody, today we are checking out the 3.39 and 3.40 update of FateUHC, which came out last week. Today we are going to check out all the new things and go over the new configure files and how you can configure them and everything. So it's going to be pretty easy. So first, the changes in 3.39, we added /MLG, where it teleports you to the top of the map, you fall, and you try to water bucket, which is cool. Only the winner can do this, so it's only the winner, and then it's only once the game ends. You can't run the command at any other point in the game. We fixed a game state error bug, which allowed the game to continue running sometimes, so we fixed that. We added help op alerts to the alerts menu, so you can now toggle those on and off. We added the help op cooldown, the thank cooldown, and the report cooldown to our configure file. We fixed the alerts menu not giving a permissions denied message. We added /reports or reports to the alerts menu as well. We redid the alerts menu to fit all these new things. We fixed a few of the GUI item names, like the golden head and everything. They were broken. We added a new GUI items.yml config file, which we have here, which I'll show you in a minute. It lets you configure all the GUIs, or most of them. We changed the TP command to spec TP, so it allows you to spectate teleport. And we added the staff TP command and added all these new things. So you can teleport players to different players, you can teleport them to different coordinates as well. So the changes needed for this is a new config file that automatically generates. It shows you, so what this does is it configures the names from the stats GUI, the blocks mine GUI, and the leaderboard GUI. So we set this up so you have more configurability over your items. In the config, we've added a report, thank, and help out cooldown. And then in the language YML, you added the two new MLG buttons. Then in 3.40, we added the golden head name to config to add more customizability. Added configurable sounds. We fixed a duplicate 15-second message. We added a practice broadcast message setting to the config. We recoded the golden head system. We added a new command golden head all. We added another border, and we added another time. So the nether time, how this works is the time on there is by default the same as grace period, so you can only enter the nether after 20. In this picture it says 20. You can only enter the nether after 20 minutes. We made some changes to the ore drops, and mobs and animals can no longer spawn before the game begins. Fire list no longer is fixed in the nether. You can add an option to toggle the block place message. And as a beta change, we added the horse riding feature. When you spawn, you'll be riding an invisible horse instead of just sitting there, which is requested. So in 3.40, the language file had this new golden head. The UHC configuration, you had to edit the sounds to add this new enabled right here. And in the UHC configuration, you added the practice broadcast and the random scatter. So that is it for the changelog. Inside, you can see I'm going to open up the new alerts menu. So the alerts menu is now a little smaller, but it has more items. So you have mining alerts, PvP alerts, IPvP alerts, and those are the help op and report alerts as well. So help op and report are right there. So you can turn these on and off as you like. You can do them in the middle of games. So if you have staff actually playing the game, they can just turn these off so they can't cheat or anything, which is very useful to have. You can see /MLG can't be worked right now. You can only do it once the game is ended. So I'll show you that when we run the game and when I kill my alt and we figure out how that works. Now, if we do /TP, you can see there's a new command. It's correct. Use teleport player to player or teleport XYZ player. So you can do teleport my username to 100, 100, 100. Actually, it's teleport. If it's yourself, you can just do TP your username to that, and it will teleport you to 100 to 100 100. If you want to teleport a player to 100 100 100, just put their username after. Just like that. So my alt is actually right here. You can see. There it is. I can't see it because I have hidden players on. The only reason my alt can see it is because I gave it a bypass perm to see other players. And then, of course, you can teleport players to each other. So I can teleport Noodles0711 to NoodlesYT. And then on this screen, I'll be right here inside NoodlesYT. So it's quite useful to have. It's quite easy to set up. And there's really no needed things. It's just a change to make it fixed up and working again. So that's pretty nice. Thank you to the people who suggested that. The other command, which we have added, let me look at the change log real quick, and I can take a look. We added the spec TP. So spec TP can only be run. Oh, You have to actually be in spectator mode. So spec TP is the same way it did work earlier. So if I go ahead and add spectator, add doodles underscore YT, and I go ahead and do spec TP a username, what this does is it will teleport me to that username, but I can't TP the player anywhere. I can't do any of that. I just teleport to that person's username. So we went ahead and changed that to make it a little easier on people playing the game, which is pretty cool. Now if we do config admin, I can show you this new nether. So if you go to configurations, you can see there is a nether, and then there is nether time. So you can configure the nether time, and that's how long it is till you can enter the nether when playing. So nether must be enabled for that to work, which is cool. I also wanted to showcase the new ore dropping system. This ore dropping system will release in the next update. So 3.42, because we recoded it again, but this time it actually works. So I'll add cut clean on, and we'll go from there. I'm going to go ahead and start the game. So this practice has been disabled or enabled. You can now configure that in the config to enable or disable those messages. So when you can see right here, I am actually floating in midair, so I'm an invisible horse, so you're no longer standing on the ground and can glitch around, which is pretty nice to have. Now since cut clean's enabled, I'm just going to give myself creative mode. It's actually going to reset me in survival when we drop, but I'm going to go ahead and go into creative real quick. Head down. Perfect, we're in a cave. Then I'm going to grab myself a pickaxe, and I'll show you the new ore drop system for cut clean. So a lot of people reported to us a glitch with ores that were sitting here, and then there are a block above them, and the ores would just fly up. So you can see when I break this now, it's actually going to drop exactly where the block is in vanilla, which is pretty cool. It took us ignore me not being able to pick it up, but if I break this, you can see it drops right there. So it works with any block now, so, okay, don't want to die here, so I'm going to go into creative. But pretty much how it works is if it drops, it's going to drop exactly where the block would drop in survival, even though it's not using survival, which is pretty cool. So this feature is pretty cool because it no longer flies the ores up to the sky where you guys have all reported it for the past few updates, so we went ahead and fixed that for you. So I'm going to go up to the surface, and I'm actually going to TP myself to Noodles0711. So here's my alt over here. He's having fun. Grace period's still on, so it's going to be on for 3 minutes, so I have a little time to showcase everything we've changed. So the other thing we were able to change per our change log here is, let's see where it is. I think it's 3.40. Golden head all. Yes, it's 3.40. So you can do /golden head, and this command allows you to spectate a player. So if I give one to my alt here, you can see Noodle071 received a golden head. And I can also send it to myself, so I can do, I received a golden head. Here's a golden head. You can also configure this in the configure file, which is very useful. And then you can do /golden head all, and it will give every player on the server a golden head. So that was also requested by a user in our Discord to be able to add that, which thank you for the suggestion, because it's pretty useful. And then golden heads now give the correct amount of regeneration and other things. One thing I wanted to add to this is that we are planning a bigger update pretty soon, which recodes part of the boss bar system and action bar system. So keep an eye out for that, because that will be adding a few new messages and configurability options. And I wanted to thank you everybody for giving the ideas that supported the last few updates. It means a lot because we're able to add those pretty easily. Some were harder than the others, but the ones we could add, we have added, and I know a lot of people have been wanting more community suggestions added, so we wanted to make sure that got done at some point. We've been both very busy, me and Activated, but we've been finding the time to work on this, so thank you all for the community support. So in 30 seconds, we are going to be... Alright, so in 3 seconds, the grace period is over, and I'm going to kill my alt with a pickaxe. And then I'm going to run the command /MLG. My inventory clears, and I'm going to spawn above, and I successfully did it. Now, the player can run this as many times as they want once they have won the game, up to the time of the game ending. And if they die, they die, and the server will restart. So it's pretty cool, and it was suggested by a user on the community, so thank you for suggesting that. And when the game is over, it just closes the server. So that is it for in-game, and we're going to check out our new configure file here, and it's the GUItems.yml file. This file allows you to change everything in the stats GUI, the blocks mined, and leaderboard. So you can change these to your liking. The get data is for these two. Just make sure you have that somewhere, or it won't actually display any stats. And that's pretty much it for this update, and hopefully you did enjoy it. Hopefully you go download it. If you want to view the plugin page and all the change logs and everything, the link will be in the description. It was a cool update. Thank you all for the suggestions. 3.42 will be coming very soon with another long change log, so I can't wait to see you all then. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.